everyone, welcome back. My name is Zanae from Simply Zanae, and thank you so much for joining me back on my channel where we talk about faith, family, fun, and everything in between. So I'm so excited about today's episode. It really just got me giddy to share my experience. So summer is upon us, graduation season has come and gone, and it really gave me a chance to think about my experience going from high school to college. And so today I'm going to be sharing about how attending an HBCU changed my life. So stay tuned. So before we jump into my personal story about what it was like attending an HBCU, I want to give some history about HBCUs just in case you don't know, right? So HBCU stands for Historically Black College and University. And HBCUs, you may be more familiar with more well-known ones such as Morehouse, Spelman, or even Howard. But HBCUs really started out with the idea of providing African Americans with a quality education because they weren't allowed many times attendance or enrollment inside of other institutions. So HBCUs really was established to help Black students thrive. And so I'm going to share my experience. So I attended the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, also known as UMES, on Eastern Shore of Maryland. And attending the HBCU is like building an extended family. So at school is where I met some of my lifelong friends. I met my husband there. Being there is like building this extension of yourself, right? So you see all these beautiful people who look just like you, but also the people who work there, like they become almost in a sense your like surrogate parents and your surrogate aunts and uncles. If you went to UMES, I'm sure you're familiar with, I don't even remember some of their names, but just their faces. It was always a security guard out in front of our cluster. Like she would block the parking area. And she was kind of like an auntie, right? She's just so sweet. Hi, greeting us, making sure we're okay. There's always was this guy, this man on campus, I'm sorry. And he would just come around and snap pictures of us. It was another person who was just like an uncle, a brightened uncle. He would come and be like, happy Monday or happy Tuesday, and just stuff like that. Like it's an extension of your family, you being there. You're there for 4 years, so you're really growing with these people. You're seeing them every day, and really they're just, a bright spot in my time at attending the HBCU. Attending the HBCU really gave me the chance to be academically successful, and for that I am so thankful. So in high school, I was not what you consider like a star student. I was more of like a BC with A's sprinkled around there. I was involved in my school. I did different like activities. I did speech. I did computer, like different. I was involved, but I wasn't like, you know how they have like the top 10 students. I was not in that rank. I was just more of like coasting and surviving. But I always like had this desire to want to attend college. Like even when I was living in New York growing up, I always would say like, I want to go to a college that has grass, right? Because I would see it on TV in New York. Really, a lot of spots didn't have a lot of grass. So that was like my own idea of attending college, right? Grass, a grassy campus, if you can kind of picture it. Like although I wasn't the top 10% of students, it provided a place for me to grow to that. I graduated with honors, and I don't think that if I was like in an environment that embraced me where I was and like helped to nurture me to what I could be, that I wouldn't be, who and where I am today. Attending the HBCU is like no other. The school spirit is top notch. So I remember my first year in college, and this is a time where Neil's song, and I just can't help, that song was out. And I remember we learned the Hawk Shuffle, which is like the school dance at that time. And just being there in the student service center and just like all being united, all doing that dance, it really helped as far as especially being a freshman, like to build that school spirit and school unity. And then homecoming is just like top notch, right? So every year, UMES would host different artists. There's different events going on. You have just all this like really fun, cool stuff going on. And really you have people who come back. So it's like a family reunion, and then you're getting to see maybe alumni you never knew went to that school. And it's just like this camaraderie attending the HBCU. And that's something that I really loved and enjoyed. And even looking back on it now, I'm grateful for those experiences. So another point about how attending the HBCU changed me It taught me how to dress decently. So at my school, really taught me the importance of how I show up in the world. So my professors at UMES were not having it. Like, I was not coming to class with pajamas. Not that I ever did, but like, how we showed up to the world, to the campus, it mattered. I remember even on Mondays, we would, it was optional, but they set it as a day to dress professionally, kind of like a career Monday kind of thing. And then even if you went to UMES, you can definitely attest to this. Before you get into the cafeteria, it feels like this runway. It has like benches on the side, and then it's this path you have to walk through. But the pressure of it, like, I remember being a freshman, like, and having upperclassmen sitting there and like having to walk through it. Not that it sounds vain, but really it helped me to like want to come present myself well. Like, how I showed up in the world mattered. My top reason of how attending the HBCU helped to change me into who I am today is UMES was the place that I developed a personal relationship with Christ. Now, before this, when I was in high school, I used to go to youth group and I attended church. But high school, the transition from high school to college, I really had to make like a personal decision to follow Jesus or not. And so UMES was that point for me. Freshman year, I think it was like my second semester, I made that decision, and it has been the best decision ever. I've learned about who Jesus is. I've learned about what forgiveness is, what true love is, freedom in Christ, and for that I am forever changed. So I hope this list inspired you to look back on your college days if you went to college, or even your high school days, and to see all the goodness. So thank you so much for joining me as I share my list of how attending an HBCU helped to change me into who I am today. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you can be notified when I make new videos. Thank you, and see you later.